Yeah, although I have to leave a little early so I can get on the 11 o'clock call with the Washington Times. But
Okay.
anyway, I have to get back with Karen. I feel so bad. I was really out of it. Oh my gosh.
Well, you've
So
had a lot going on, a lot. I mean, from my perspective,
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah, and there's more to come.
no doubt. Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And everybody else too, like
Mm-hmm.
they've had different people,
Sarah,
different things.
Sarah's. How's Brian doing?
He had uh, an operation recently, and I think it might be the last thing, and he might be like just healing from now. And that just happened last week. So he
Oh,
was in the hospital all week.
oh,
Anyway,
but he still has his feet.
yes, he
Oh, well, that's
does.
good. Oh,
It is.
uh,
Yeah, I'm so
great.
right.
Yeah, and
And
losing all that weight, I'm sure really helped his diabetes.
I'll bet, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Good, good.
yeah.
Right.
And you were gonna say something about Sarah?
Oh yeah, she's been very busy
That's
too.
what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Batool, this is Ramadan month, so
All right.
she's pretty occupied with that. So
I imagine.
I imagine.
Yeah, because at night, then that's when they're eating and celebrating and having family time and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
but she has young children too, right?
um she has a teenage age son, I think.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
That's my
Okay.
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the week before last, there was a new person on.
Oh,
She,
really?
uh-huh, her name is Joanna Hartle, and she's from England. She lives in England. And
Right.
she's also connected with UPF and Women's Federation.
Oh, okay.
But
Right.
I was just looking through messages for something. I was searching for something. I came across a
Okay.
message from her from long ago. And so I got in touch with her. And then, anyway, so she came on. But today
Oh,
she's
nice.
busy, so she can't be on.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it was good. Yeah,
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, I recommended you to someone. Who was it? Uh, Someone with children.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. I'll think of it. You remember who it
yeah.
was? Hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm in the process of I I've had to design a new website, and
Oh my goodness.
I know it's the I get to keep my old one, but I can't do anything to it, so it's just as it is. So um anyway, that's one of the things that I've been focusing on is that.
Mm. So
Um,
you do it by yourself or you have help?
um yeah, I do it by myself at this point.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So they
Okay.
have instructions and I can call them. It's Yahoo. So and I've been with them since I started on internet. So
Hmm.
anyway,
Mm.
I hope sometime soon to have that in place.
Okay,
So I was just
good.
thinking this morning that I would have like maybe when it's all together, have a introducing the new website as part
Mhm.
of a show for, anyway.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
And Brian said that when I did the one on fathers, or I
Mhm.
was going to do the one on father. Well, actually, I did last week. I did some of that.
Hmm.
He wished he could have been on. So I told him when he's up and ready to come back, then we'll do a special for that. So
Oh,
he's
okay.
looking forward to that. So
Oh, nice,
yeah,
nice. Good.
yeah, because um, when I had been considering like not, and the thing is that he really valued the work that we did together, because we had one show which was pretty much like a coaching session,
Oh.
and then there were other ones where his concerns got addressed,
Hmm.
and then it just changed his whole relationship with his daughter in particular.
Hmm.
So he
Wow.
was really happy, but for some reason, I guess because I've been so focused on working with women, um, I had almost considered like just not even thinking about working with fathers. But
Hmm.
then because of my son,
Hmm.
um, and how he was and his belief in my work, and it struck me like really soon after he passed on that I've definitely got to work with fathers, definitely.
Oh,
So,
when did your son die?
oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh, the um the 23rd of uh March.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. What happened? How old was he?
Um 43.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know, he was just um out walking the dogs out in the hills, and that was it. Apparently he'd had a heart condition which only would have shown up if he'd had an MRI, but he never had one because he was otherwise in great health. And
Mm.
um, anyway,
Oh my
so
goodness.
I've been dealing with
Wow, I'm so
that. So,
sorry. I didn't know that, Karen. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Wow. Wow, that's something. Yeah, I have a son who's about that age, Wouldn't imagine him passing on. Wow.
yeah, I
Mm.
know. I never imagined any of this.
Oh, he lived in California?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
in
Mm.
the same area that he grew up in. And there's my daughter's created a Facebook page, even though he never was into social media or anything like that. He
Mhm,
just
mhm,
didn't want anything to do with that.
mhm,
But now there's like this Facebook page, and there's hundreds of people that are members and have written just beautiful, amazing things.
mm.
So
Wow. People that knew him.
yeah, yeah, he
Oh,
was very well loved by his
oh,
community. So
oh, how wonderful.
yeah,
Oh,
it really is. They're gonna make a book of all of the pictures and the stories
mm,
for his sons. So
mm. Wow. So he left a wife and children?
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I mean, you know, I think this morning I was thinking especially of her, that of
Mm.
all the people, I mean, she was with him every day. And so she, there's like the everyday missing. So,
Oh, wow.
but the community's been extremely supportive, very,
Mm.
very, like, because he did a lot in their
Which
lives.
community? What community is it?
It's in southern Humboldt County.
Oh, okay. So it's the town he lived in?
Well, actually, he lived out in the country. Most of the
Mm.
people there do. There are a couple of small towns. One is called Garberville, and the other is Redway. Um, but most of the people have uh, homesteads.
Mm. Mm.
So
Wow. But he was involved in other people's lives and all. Mm.
yeah, he he grew up there, right? So he knew people from the time he was an infant. He
I
was
see.
around the community because we had started Children's House.
Hmm.
Actually, we started that in Garberville, but then we got offered the opportunity, the whole community was offered the opportunity of this land, which is where everybody kind of got together. And um, I I don't remember if it was like totally donated or partly donated.
Mm.
And there's now a community center and children's houses there, and
Wow, how
an
interesting.
elementary program called Skyfish, the kids named it, um, is there also. And there are a few other things like a taekwondo dojo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there used to be um, a middle school program, but
Mm.
I'm not sure if that's still functioning.
Mm.
Schools started up there again though, but that's all out in the country too.
Is it like in the mountains or?
Yeah, this is an area in the California coastal mountains.
Oh, okay.
And some of the people, like my daughter, actually live out near the ocean.
Oh, how
There's
wonderful.
there's a community called Shelter Cove because there's a cove there, and
Mm-hmm.
people go fishing out of there. Um, and
Mm.
there are a number of beaches, and uh,
Mm. How wonderful.
yeah, it's an amazing place. Anyway, so that's where he was, and that's where a lot of the people that have written in are there, or at least they grew up there. Some of them have moved to other places. But
Mm. Wow. It's kind of rare in this day and age for there to be a real community in a place. I know where my mother lived, she lived in Woodstock, Vermont. It was kind of like that. There was
oh,
a community feeling.
I've heard of Woodstock.
Oh, well, that was Woodstock, New York.
Okay.
But this is sort of famous, had a nice inn and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of rare in this day and age for there to be a real sense of community. You know, it's really been lost for
Oh,
much of
well, it's
America.
alive and well in southern Humboldt.
Wow.
Yeah, that's I there well, we moved there in 73 after we came back from India
Uh,
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 with the Montessori training. Uh,
mm,
there were friends who invited us to come come there because the people that were living there wanted some kind of education for their children, like a preschool of some sort. And we had just completed the Montessori training in India. And while
Who was we?
my ex-husband and I,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
and we purchased the Montessori equipment in India and had it shipped over.
Wow.
And anyway, so we ended up there, out in the country near the redwoods. I mean, going into town, you drive through this beautiful old growth wet redwood
Ooh, incredible.
forest, back and forth.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
river,
Heavenly.
it is so beautiful.
Mm.
Really, really beautiful.
How wonderful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I used to think that I would live in a house overlooking the ocean in California.
Ah,
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah, but I joined the church instead. But I was near the ocean many times. We lived in Gloucester. One of my sons was born when we lived in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And then we lived in, well, in California. We lived there for a brief time in Morro Bay. We had some fishing boats there. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, then we lived in Alabama and Beulah Battery, made famous by Forrest Gump. Although it wasn't filmed in Beulah Battery, it was filmed in South Carolina somewhere. So yeah, and so we were and then in Florida, we were in Tarpon Springs. So we were near the ocean a lot. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. My ancestors were really ocean-going people. My great grandfather was captain of one of those ships that went from Boston to China.
Wow.
Yeah, he was
What a journey.
Co-owner of one. Yeah, when he was 12 years old, he went to sea. He went to the Great Banks up in Nova Scotia area. He was working fishing there from 12 years old, and then he came back and went to some kind of maritime school, and then he went off to, be a captain of clipper ships and whatnot. I think he didn't get married till he came back from at age 45, and then he got married and raised a family. But wow. Yeah, there were stories of racing around the Cape of Good Hope, the clipper ships, who could get there the fastest, and yeah.
Wow, a real race.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right, a real race.
Not just like they were racing around, but a real race. So
yeah, a real race. So a lot of ancestors had ships and boats, and the first one came to Salem in 1628 to fish. Wow. Yeah. So it's like the ocean's in my blood. One time our family went to Europe, and we went by boat, and we came back on a smaller boat that we went over ship, and the seas were kind of rough. And we go in the dining room. There's nobody there. We were the only people sitting down at the table and having dinner.
Wow.
Because there was no seasickness. It was in our blood for so long. That
interesting.
Yeah,
I was never ask you how that trip was. I've wondered about ocean travel. Like,
oh yeah, it was fabulous. Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah. yeah, really nice. It's so different today because they've gussied up the ship so much, but it was a lot of fun. I played shuffleboard and this and
I've heard
that.
of that.
Yeah, they had swimming pools and gyms, and
Wow.
it was yeah, plenty to do. It was
Huh.
nice. Yeah, yeah,
How
it was
long
really
did it
nice.
take?
Well, we went over on the U.S. United States, which had just started. It was even maybe the maiden voyage, which was the fastest ship at the time. So it went across in 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we came back in a French ship, and it took 7 days. Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it was really nice. But I don't remember ever being bored or anything. You know, it
And
was
so you handled the rough seas, no problem.
yeah. None of us got seasick because it was in our blood. We had it.
Huh. And you could walk and everything.
Yeah, well, it was a little bit rough. Yeah, you had to get your sea legs, as they say.
I've heard that
Yeah,
term.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, so that means like you can move with the the ship, whatever, however it's moving.
Yeah, there's sort of an instinctive thing that takes over.
Huh.
Yeah. And then what's funny
Wow.
is then when you get back on land, then you're still moving. It's kind of a funny feeling.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's a funny feeling.
Huh.
So yeah, and then my uncle, he was doing construction in California. I think he helped to build many roads there. And then he and his partner were supposed to go to Los Alamos and do some construction there because something was happening there. Yeah. But his partner betrayed him. I don't know all the details. So he just quit and he sold everything. He bought a 60-foot schooner and told his wife and three children, well, he told his wife, the children were young. The oldest was 12, the youngest was 2. He said, well, I'm getting on the ship and you can come if you want, but you don't have to. If you don't want to come, don't come. But they all went, and then they sailed around to New England, and we went out in the boat a few times with them. So wonderful. Had my
Wow.
first experience with God, lying face down in the bowsprit and looking down into the ocean and just feeling this is this was God's nature, the huge depth of the ocean, his love.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And
Wow.
then yeah. And they went down and they settled in St. Lucia. So
Where's that?
it's in the Virgin Islands.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. And she taught the children with correspondence courses. And then they eventually got into colleges, did quite well. Yeah. So,
Hmm.
but the parents didn't do so well. They ended up, drinking a lot, and there really wasn't much to do. They're just bored, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, but the kids all did well, and really beautiful, beautiful kids they had. Hmm. But the
Nice.
youngest daughter, she grew up in St. Lucia. So she was 2 years old, and they went on the trip. They had
Right.
to tie a rope around her, so she wouldn't fall off.
Yeah.
And but she grew up in St. Lucia, so she grew up with an island accent. You know,
Huh.
yeah, she did. So then when the mother moved to California after the father died, she was talking like an islander, and the kids
Whoa.
were really joshing her, but she was able to speak normally after a while. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She
Wow.
was she was really good. She died young of breast cancer,
Oh,
which
wow.
is maybe one of the reasons I moved to Arizona, because my sister was there, and then she got breast cancer, and I thought, well, let me move out there and get to know my sister better.
Mhm.
She's sick. Yeah. So we moved to Arizona, and then my sister moved away.
Oh,
And Melissa passed away, but still have some contact with her children. Mhm.
huh.
Yeah, yeah. So so anyway, life is interesting. Goes back and
I
forth.
know.
Hmm.
Yes, it
Anyway, I'm
does.
sorry to hear about your son. I hope that his wife and children are okay.
Yes,
And
apparently they are.
mhm.
Um, yeah, they they had set up for the oldest boy, instead of going to the local high school, he's going to go about, it might be, I don't think it's quite an hour, it's like 45-minute drive away,
Mhm.
to uh, it's called College of the Redwoods, and
Oh, how wonderful.
he's going, they apparently have a program there for high school age students, and he got accepted to that, so
Mm.
he's going to be doing that. He's really
Oh,
happy.
oh, wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my father died when he was 44, and
Uh-huh.
I was 19. Took me a long time to get over it, actually. But maybe
Uh,
it depends on your age and if you're a girl or a guy, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, and the kind of relationship and all kinds of things, really.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah, my father um, passed on early too. Well, not that early, but he was like 52.
Hmm.
So he did a really good thing. Um, he almost died one year, and he told my mother that he had been going through the light, this tunnel, and there was light at the end, and he
Mm.
could um, he got to choose whether to go on or to come back, and he decided that she was not ready for him to go,
Mm.
and so he came back, but he told her that the next time it happens he's going, and so he did whatever was necessary during the next, it was about a year, um, to help her be ready to stand on her own.
Wow.
So
Wow. Ooh,
yeah,
amazing. Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
And she did
Mhm,
well, because
mhm.
she stayed around till she was 99. So
Oh, that's right. 99, almost 100.
almost, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and she was quite alert. I remember coming
Oh
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
program. She came. Hmm. Hmm.
yeah,
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
So
Huh.
good. Well, I guess my son's doing okay with his kids. I don't know. I haven't heard lately of any uproar. In Korea, they have they have part-time school and part-time at home.
Is that
But
like part of the day or certain days?
certain days,
Yeah, here
and
too.
then I think the son who's in middle school, I think he goes every day, and
Okay.
he's really liking it. Yeah, and and my son's wife, she had to stop doing the dancing education, which is too bad because I think she really enjoyed it, but it was quite involving. It took her a lot of energy and time,
Uh-huh.
and so now she's just helping in the school. She has to check everyone's temperature when they come in.
Uh-huh.
and other things. And then she's working in a restaurant serving. And yeah, I guess she likes it. And things
Well, that's
calm
good.
down. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
So the kids are doing well. My son is borrowing some land from a local farmer, and who offered him some land to grow vegetables. So he's got the kids out
Wow,
growing vegetables.
that's good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
they enjoy
good
that.
thing to know and to do if, yeah, especially if you enjoy it, but anyway, it's a good thing to know.
Hmm, hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I think that so much time at home has been actually very good for their family,
Yeah,
because they were. It seemed like every time I visited when during school time, it was so hectic. They get up and then they quickly get ready and then it goes to school, and then after school there was this class and then there was that class, and just it seemed very hectic. And then yeah, the kids would go to bed late and then they'd get up, they get up early, they'd be tired. And but they were pretty involved in all the different classes they were doing. So
uh-huh,
they seemed to enjoy it, but it just was very hectic, and
right.
it was kind of fractured. I think maybe from that my daughter-in-law was, she has a very different teaching style than my son. She kind of grew up with the authoritarian, do it because I say for you to do it kind of thing. So I tried to encourage them to read your book together, but I don't know, that didn't seem to go over. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, encourage my son to read it at least. So hopefully he got a few ideas. Yeah. So yeah, we talked about agreement, reaching agreement. It helps all around. So,
Right.
but with my sons in Phoenix, there there's an interesting situation. So my oldest son, he's schizoaffective, but he's on medication. He's working for UPS part time, and he's very extremely well read. He reads about 20 books at once. I don't know how many books he reads at
Wow.
once, and all different topics. And you can talk with him about just about anything. But otherwise, he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't really connect with other people, and he kind of living with his father for 5 years. He sort of took on the authoritarian approach to everything, and so then he lives with his youngest brother, Jason, who is also schizoaffective, although he's not on medication. And he loves music. He just likes to
Right, I remember.
play his music and this and that. And then Andy lives there to kind of help his brothers. He promised his father that he would help and take care of his brothers. so so if Jason does something that Victor doesn't like, he usually yells at him, and then Andy's trying to be the buffer. And so I talked about reaching agreement, and so they kind of listened. I think they listened. I think they are practicing it somewhat.
Wow.
Anyway, and we'll see.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I think it's helped. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. And then Victor would say, well, he just needs to do it this way. I said, well, you just need to sit down and tell him your concerns. You have an issue with this, and work it out.
Huh.
So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So it was really helpful. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to hear.
Yeah. So we're doing a lot of work trying to get families in marriages and committed in marriages.
Right.
And so I'm hoping once this initial burst goes through, then, we can talk more with the Bliss Family Department, or even with UPF, actually, about getting some education in. They started to have a brother come in who does marriage counseling, and he wrote a book about communication in the family, for, I remember the name of it, four rules for a good marriage or something like that. And mainly it's about listening skills.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. And so he came on and did a little education about that. So I think there's an opening to be able to talk about this. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what, I want to let things settle down after this, after this, um, there's a event coming up June 5th.
Right. Yeah, I
But
signed up for that.
oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, I saw you
Yeah.
said you did. Yeah. But on Wednesdays at, time is it 10 a.m. I think. No, 11. Wednesdays at 11. They have education about marriage blessing. And then people give testimony about that. Pastors who are giving blessings in their church, or various people. Um, and there's 7 steps, toward a good marriage, toward having this kind of committed marriage. And yeah, that's going very nicely. But
Oh, good.
the brother who came in to teach, I think he spoke at one of those events. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
one of those times, because
Right.
UPF is doing it every week. Yeah. So yeah. So we'll
Well,
see how things develop.
yeah, I've been feeling um like this is because I have besides the website that I have to get together. Hopefully that will be that will be done by the time other things start opening up, like what you're saying.
Mhm.
And Sarah said that when she finishes whatever, I don't know if she ever finishes, but when she gets to a certain point, then she wants to see about connecting me with oh, it's
Angelica,
huh?
Angelica.
No, not Angelica, but
Oh,
part of
the Global Women's
yeah,
Peace Initiative. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, and Brian and I had started a project which I want to finish also,
Mhm.
in terms of uh, because all right, he's authorized um, to give training like I used to be able to do here in Nevada.
Right.
They changed everything,
Mhm.
and even though I'm still considered a trainer, unless I do certain things, I won't be able to give credit for my training, but he can. So
Mhm.
we've connected where people can get my work, and then he gives them their training hours.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
Mm.
so that's something that is in process also. Plus
Oh,
I have
okay.
my 4th magazine, which I want to get done soon. And
Mm.
there's my niece her daughter has Down syndrome,
Mhm.
and she's both the parents are devoted and committed, and they've done all kinds of things. And she's an
Mhm.
amazing writer, and so she's been contributing. I think the last magazine issue had one of her articles in it, and the next
Mhm.
one will have two, and she's writing another one now. Anyway, so there are things in the works which would be nice to have completed, sort of. And so that's how I've been looking at this time period for me.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, well, maybe, I did communicate with Reiko Jenkins, but I didn't hear back from her. I don't know what happened there,
right,
aside from the fact that she's very busy. uh,
right.
and but yeah, it would be good if she could come on your Tuesday morning call and
That would be
listen
good.
into what you're doing and what you're teaching.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'll keep trying. Maybe I'll send her the last newsletter. I haven't even read it myself, to tell you the truth, but
That's okay.
I take a look at it and
Yeah.
send it on to her. Yeah.
But you have it. You don't need me to forward it to you.
Yeah, I noticed it was in my email recently.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
said,
right.
oh, there's Karen's letter, a
Okay.
newsletter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because families really need this, and families they want to be successful, and they really need this. So,
Well,
um,
it's really helpful. That
mm,
I know that.
mhm,
And so it's kind of like all the years that I've been doing this, which is like over 40, I know that, somewhere between
mhm,
40 and 50. Um,
mhm,
this, I feel, it has this culmination kind of feeling to it. Like, yeah, this is what I've been looking for all those years, was something, even though I was doing all of this, but I didn't have a way of sharing it like the one rule is. It's like
mhm,
simple and clear,
mhm,
and just you have to decide you want to do it. And
mhm,
there are things that are in the book um, that help you do it, because it is different than a lot of people. uh, it's a different approach. Uh,
mhm.
even
Now,
I
is the book published as well as online? Your
oh,
last book. Your last book.
right. No, I Batool asked me to get it on Amazon. Now I I can do that. It's been on my list to do. Um, and I just have to if anyway, I'll check it out, because
Well,
then
then Lulu is the other one, because
what
then
is that?
Lulu is also self-publishing, and what they do is they publish, they print the book as people request it or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know how they do that. I think it's
Amazon
different.
does also. The
Oh, I
kin
see.
they have a thing where, but they'll print a paperback.
Yeah.
Batool would like a hardcover. I don't know. I haven't really done the research to find out if there's
Mm.
a company that will do the same with hardcovers. I
Yeah,
know,
I think Lulu does soft covers too. Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that would be good. I'll check it out,
It's
because
just Lulu. It's lulu.com. Yeah.
okay, I'll check that
Mm-hmm.
out too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I
Great.
have one of my books is set up that way, for on Amazon. I think it's a version of my first book, um, but I have a couple other that are. I think I have four altogether up on Amazon,
Oh, wow.
but I will. Uh, but there only one of them is set up to be printed. The others are just digital
Oh, okay.
for Kindle, because
Oh, okay.
that's their platform.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good, good.
And I've been putting these episodes on it's Anchor. Have you heard of Spotify?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's their podcast platform.
Oh, okay.
Spotify's podcast platform. But I'm on like 7 different platforms, including Apple. So
Okay.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so I take the audio from these Zoom shows and I put it on Spotify. I mean, not on Spotify. I put it on Anchor, and then they send it out to. Anyway, so
Okay. Great.
it's just a way of reaching people. Like some people, my youngest daughter is the one that got me to do, not, she didn't tell me what to do, but she said, you should have a podcast, because she loves podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Mm-hmm.
son used to listen to podcasts. And
Mm-hmm.
so anyway.
Okay, but you wouldn't put like this one on, for instance. This is not really a teaching session. I mean, there's educational aspects, but would you put
All
this
right.
on?
Well, I hadn't considered not,
Oh,
but yeah, it's because in a way I kind of was looking at, okay, there are 2 formats really, now that you're bringing this up. There's the teaching one where I that's what I was going to do. I was going to talk about harmony, inner, because I'm doing a lot of that myself these days, and also harmony with your children, creating it, maintaining it, both of them, inner and outer. Anyway, so that's what I was going to do, but when you showed up.
Oh, I see. Okay,
So
well, I'll look forward to that
more,
next week.
Ours is more like a talk show, right? A talk show with kind of a theme, like the agreement, the one rule is kind of, but I didn't do the little mini slideshow. Oh my goodness, Batool is here.
Yeah, well, maybe maybe my sons wouldn't like to be so public.
Okay, I will make sure not to put this up. Okay.
Okay.
In fact, if there are other ones where you mention them, if you would like me not to put them up, I will not put them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Then I'll be more general. Oh, hello, Batool.
Hi.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah, I got a little time. I just said I'll just check it out as how much I can, join and listen to you guys. I'm missing the show a lot, but because of your routine of Ramadan, I'm, occupied.
Yes.
So that is why. I hope you all are good. Having a good time.
Yes, thank you, Batool. Wonderful. Well, all the best wishes for Ramadan. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful tradition that your religious foundation has. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But I'm sorry to say I have to go now because another one's coming up and I have to get ready. So, but hopefully I can get back on this every week. I hope to see you next
Thank
time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Leslie.
Karen.
It's been
Okay.
great.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Batool.
Yeah, I saw this show last time also. It was nice, Miss Karen. I saw it late, the recording on the Facebook.
Okay.
Watched it,
All
yeah,
right.
then I watched it on the YouTube. Because of the timings, things going, then inshallah after like Ramadan I might be able to, get back into track, inshallah. Over here.
Yeah.
You tell me everything. What is the topic going on today? Because I just joined, I didn't hear anything.
Right. Well, we just were talking pretty much. It wasn't, I was going to talk about creating inner harmony and maintaining it, because I've been doing a lot of that myself, and it anyway, and also creating and maintaining harmony with your children. That's what I was going to do.
Wow.
But when Leslie showed up, we just started discussing things. And
Well, that's
so,
nice.
yeah.
Yesterday, Miss Karen, I was just doing a session. I was basically taking classes online from a UNICEF. It's a self-assessed program. So I was learning about children's rights, and I was just thinking, this thing came in my mind that because there was a saying over there which was shared that alone intentions does not take you to the good path. Sometimes only the intentions might take you to lead to hell also, because some you don't if only you are taking intentions but you are not making the way, you are not following it, won't work. For children, just saying that they should study and they should do that, they should, unless no one work for it, it won't work. So I was thinking this one rule also addresses the rights of children as well. They
Yes.
allow the children to speak.
Right. It does. That's
They
the
allow the
thing.
children to share. That is also one very important thing. Like
Yeah.
rights of children.
Right. Yeah. Very
I was just,
important.
yeah, that came in my mind, and I wanted to share it with you.
Thank
That
you.
yeah, that your one rule is also working towards this, and you can even, I believe, send this one rule to UNICEF.
All right.
Because it was there in the sites that keep on sharing whatever you get to know. It's just voluntarily work, and it's completely free also, the site. So I was just getting knowledge from it, just looking through it, and just hearing the views of the children and the pupil and the educators about children's rights. So I thought that, and there were options coming that if you have anything, share with us. So I was thinking that why don't you send this proposal of one rule to UNICEF directly, that you are also working for the children. Maybe they might
Yes.
contact you,
Right.
because they also work for their children, and your target from the beginning is children. Your aim is to introduce the children rights.
Yeah.
And UNICEF also works for children, education rights, and whatever rights they deserve.
Right.
So this
So
will be really a great venture if somehow you can send this thing, a little information to UNICEF. You can, I think, you just write over there in your website, UNICEF will come which in your zone area, and they might then contact you if you email them and just send a sample that you have done this. So I believe it will really help us.
okay.
Because that
Do
is
that.
something from United, like then that will be supporting us to reach the message more.
Yeah.
Because your work is amazing, it's totally different. It's just not saying you are working towards, it's just a tool, a kind of a toolkit. The one rule
Right.
acts like a tool.
Right. It is. It is. Yeah.
So I will also write to them that I'm working with Karen Rice and she's doing this. I will also write to them. but you are the, chief owner of this.
So
Person who introduced.
can you send me the
Website? I'll
yeah.
send it to you. I'll send it to you. I'll try to search it and send it to you on the messenger then, the website.
Okay.
So that you can check the website and you can share your views.
Okay, I will do that. That sounds
Because
great.
that, yeah, even I was excited and I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not attending the show, but you are always in my mind.
Yeah.
Things are there. I keep on checking and
Nice. Yeah, you're in my mind also.
Thank you so much. No,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I know you're this is a very important time what you're doing. But
love is there. Our minds are
Yeah.
together. Our mission is together. Our prayers are together.
Right.
God will help us, and may God bless all of us.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna have to go, Batool.
Yeah, Miss. Okay. Bye-bye. Take
Okay,
care.
I'm
Thank you
so
so much.
glad you jumped on.
Thank you. I just wanted to surprise you.
Thank
you so
yeah.
much.
That was a special treat.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.